Hello friends. Today we have we will be discussing today what little bit I have explained yesterday, the languages, about the languages, what are the involvement of the languages of individuality and the energy. What is energy? The energy is in the form of physical, as the equation shows, E is equal to mc square. This is what we have come across, and the explanation I have given you all with regarding the individualist. That is what the equation I have given the fact with the explanation, and taken it as a mc square is into nc square. Nucleus plus nucleus into circulation of our circulation of our own self, circulation of bloods. Okay, this is a equation we have taken. So when we come across this, when we come across the nucleus and the circulation of the blood is nothing but the energy, let me give you a explanation. What is the fact of nc square? It is proportionally, you can take it as it is proportionally equal to the E is equal to mc square. How it is E is equal to mc square? E is equal to mc square is a physical property appearance of the materials. But when we come with the individual of our own self, we come across the fundamentalism of the cell. Fundamentalism of our cell. What is the fundamental of our cell? Nucleus is the fundamental of our cell. The powerhouse, the mitochondria is the fundamental of our house. And the circulation of the blood makes the flow of energies. The flow of energies. This is what the combination, the flow of energy is nothing but the combination of the nucleus and the some of the vitamins, minerals, which is useful for the immune digestion. Immune digestion. Digestion comes with the immune. Digestion makes the power to be digestion has the when the digestion occurs, the immune comes. You can understand like this. So when we come across the circulation of energy, we come across the blood. What is blood? The nucleus, the cell, fundamental cell of our body. The fundamental cell of our body is nothing but the blood. Blood is having this liquidity. Blood is having the liquidity because of some of the reaction which is taking place in a nucleus and making the proteins, lipids, and nucleic acid and carbohydrates as the reaction in the blood and making the certain sort of liquidity and making the flowness throughout our nerves. This is what the nc square, nucleus and the circulation, makes the energy. The main fact of understanding here is energy. How the nucleus is formed, what are the circulation of I am talking with the nucleus, which is having the powerhouse. You can say the mitochondria. Nucleus itself is having the mitochondria in it. And when we are talking with the nucleus and mitochondria, there is a relation with the circulation. So when there is a reaction of certain biological reaction in a place, there is a forming of the liquidity. You can make it. And I am explaining here is nothing but the energy, the formation of the energy. The formation of the energy is nothing but the reacting of certain biological reaction. It is taking place. So this is what the energy is forming. So same thing, what the reaction has come across with physical reaction, physical property reaction, as E is equal to mc square has stated. The same way the energy is equal to nc square. The same way the energy is formed. This is what the main individual of oneself should be understood, because the nucleus and the circulation, the square, the nucleus is having the circulation, the blood is having the biological molecule. You can see the biological molecules and the reaction. Biological molecules are polymers chain made up of a smaller repeating unit cells, monomers. There are the four primary micromolecules. So when we come across the molecules, there is a molecule which is building blocks of with certain vitamins. What are the vitamins and some of the acids? What are that? Carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. These are the combination which makes the nucleus. The combination and which makes the nucleus, and the circulation of these with the reaction, biological reaction, makes the energy. You can come to you have understood the what is the reality of the energy is. You can come to you can make the understanding, analyze it, what I have given the explanation, and take the same proportional of E is equal to mc square. What is E? Energy, producing of the energy with the combination of the molecule with the speed of a lightning speed of certain particle. Lightning speed. So lightning speed and the molecule, the reaction has become the same reaction has counted to the energy. This is what the energy, the physical behavior of the energy is given by the equation called E is equal to mc square. The same thing what I am stating is the reaction which is biological reaction of our own self is included in the nucleus. And the same thing, the lightning speed, what I have used, the lightning speed is nothing but the pressure. When we come across the speed, we come across the when we come across the speed, there is a speed relating to the physical body, physical property. When we come across the liquidity, there is a pressure. We can name it as a pressure. The speed is proportional to speed is proportionally equal to the pressure. You can say it by understanding and analyzing yourself. This is what the fact you should be taking as your own self. So circulation and the reaction is produce the energy. So energy is nothing but our own self of making the immunity, the power of the immunity. This is what the power of the immunity. So what E is equal to mc square makes fact of the individuality, how it is include in the positivity and negativity. What are the fact you should be understood? I will be explaining now. How it is include carbohydrate, lipids, protein, nucleic acid. These are the facts which mc square is included in the converting of the energy. We have understood that. So when we come across these four carbohydrate, lipids, protein, nucleic acid, these are the four factors. We come across the energies which produce the energies. We are taking the intake of the carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, nucleic acid as our own self, which produce the certain kind of biological reaction and produce the energy. So how the energy is of the carbohydrate? Quick energy. How the energy of the lipids? It is a long-term energy. Proteins, which gives the enhancement and the building of the enzyme, muscular building, and transport. Protein gives it. Understand, the protein gives it. And lipids, long-term energy. And carbohydrate, quick energy. the liquid and nucleic acid. The nucleic acid, what are the nucleic acid? Which stores and transmitting genetic blueprints. The appearance, you can say it, appearance of physical appearance of particular person, you can say it. Yeah, particular person itself, particular, sorry, particular person, appearance of the particular person makes the nucleic acid of the deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid. That is what the DNA and RNA is. So when we come across the quick energy, long time energy, enzyme, muscular building building, and the transport of liquids, amino acids, and storing and transmitting genetic blueprints, these are the factors we can understand. This is directly involved in to these energies. And the word which I have taken, carbohydrate, lipids, and proteins and nucleic acid, is directly proportionate to nucleus reaction, biological reaction, which produce the energy, and make the immunity, for the execution of our own self. This is what the energy we are gaining from the food. So what this energy comes with? Quick energy is nothing but the starch, glycogen, cellulose. This is what the example I am giving. These examples I will be taking the explanation as regard. Okay. Long energy, fat, oil, and cholesterol. Okay. And the enzyme, muscular building, transportation. And what are the building of the building of enzymes and muscular? We come across the person who makes the hardness of exercises and take all the action which is his desire with the determined decision. So this is what the muscular building. This is also protein. Yes. This is the hemoglobin, lactose, and storing and transmitting genetic blueprints. Nucleic acid, it is the nucleic acid. And example is DNA and RNA. This is how the energy produces with the NC biological reaction, which consists of nucleus. This is how the biological reaction is related to the liquidity of some of the reaction and makes the energy. This is how we can understand that the circulation is nothing but the liquidity. The liquidity is nothing but lipids, long-term energy, fats, oil, cholesterol, starch, glycogen, cellulose, hemoglobin, DNA, RNA. This all makes the biological reaction and produce the energy. When we are talking with the reaction of circulating, there comes the name called blood. This is how the blood is circulating throughout our body. When the blood is circulating throughout our body, there is a reaction with a fundamentalism of every organism, fundamentalism of every nucleus. When there is a biological fundamental reaction with every fundamentalism of our nucleus, there is a combination of these other carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. When these all are reacting with the liquidity reaction of the liquidity, there comes the name called blood. So this blood, having the blood with the pressure relating to the circular, I have called C square, circular. When we call about circular, we come across the pressure. When the speed is corresponding to the circulation. Speed is corresponding to the pressure. The same thing, when we come across the pressure, we come across the blood. Explanation I have given the what are the reaction of the blood and how the formation of the blood I have given, and the circulation. Now I am giving the circulation. When we come across the circulation of bloods with our in our vessels, in our nerves, there comes the immunity power. There comes the immunity power, which makes the possible of digestion, as well as the possibility, all the fact of possibility of our own calmness. When the lower of the hemoglobin, there is a fluctuation, instability. You have noticed, I think you have noticed how it causes, how the shortage of the hemoglobin causes, I will be giving, and how the shortage of the fat, oil, for the cholesterol causes, I will be giving you, because there is a cause. Not from the environment, but the external. Then I will come in explanation. There is a reduction of the starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Reduction of these all, reduction of biological reaction makes the reduction of the circulation. The reducing of the circulation can form the reduction of immune system. When the immune system is down, when immune system is come with a certain level, average level, there is a instability of the body. When the instability of the body comes, there comes all whatever the disorders person faces. What are the disorders person is not facing, but some of the things which is making to face it. This is what they are called the disease. They called the name as a disease. Reducing of the circulation, reducing of the biological reaction with regarding the carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, nucleic acid. This is how the reduction of blood nucleus, in the nucleus, the reaction of the biological nucleus which forms the energy, reducing of the energy, the reducing of the immunity. This reducing of the immunity is caused by certain energy. What is that energy? Energy of, not the environmental energy. Now here comes the two kind of energies. What are the two kind of the energies? What from beginning of the videos I have been telling what are two kind of energies. What are they? Positive energy and the negative energy. Here comes the shloka, Bhagavad Gita shloka, which states the energy of our blood. What is that shloka? Let me give you. Understand it, okay? Prashantatma vigata brahmachara chavrite. Vigata brahmachari vrate stitha mana samyama machito yukta asita matparaha. This I can be understood, but I will be giving the explanation, which is translation of this shloka. Okay, this I can be understand what is it mean, but I may reduce the explanation with regarding the shloka, but I may be giving the full of the explanation with regarding the translation. Okay, with the internal calm, fearless, firm in the O of Brahmacharya. The mind will govern thinking of me. Let him sit harmonized and absorbed in attaining me. This is what the shloka says. The words, the shloka and the translation says is nothing but calmness, internal calmness. What is this internal calmness? Fearless, firm in a vow of brahmacharya. Firm in the vow of brahmacharya. We will be taking it afterwards. Okay. Fearless and calmness. First, we will be taking the words as a internal calmness and the fearless. The mind will govern thinking of individuality. Mind will govern thinking of individuality. Let me give you first. I will be giving the explanation of internal calm and fearless. What is this internal calm and fearless? Yes. What is this? The internal calm and fearless is nothing but the equalization of the flow of energy. Equalization of flow of energy causes the circulation of the enough circulation to blood to a mind. Enough circulation of the blood to a mind, which gives the functionality, which makes the functionality of the mind with the proper way. This is what the internal calm is. When it is reduced, I have spelled the 3 times word. When it is reduced, the flow of the energy, the flow of the blood to a mind, there causes the fear. Why it is causes the fear? The unfunction of the brain. The unfunction of the brain causes the multiple disorder, which is not caused by the environment, what the environment has giving, but by the negative energies. The inflow of the positive energy with our own self makes the calmness. If we come across some of the energies which is not, one should be not in a position, that causes the reduction of the circulation of our body. This is what the internal calm is, nothing but the proper flow of the circulating. Flow is nothing but a circulating proper circulation of the blood with the mind, that causes the internal calm. The internal calmness makes the person to think, govern. The mind will govern thinking of individuality. Here the shloka says, Krishna says, me. What is me meant by me? The word me, thinking of me, is nothing but the devotion. The word thinking of me, giving the word of me and thinking of me. Word me and thinking of me, nothing but it is a devotion of one individual. So that I have used the word individuality, thinking of individuality. So governing mind is directed to the internal calm. Internal calm is directly to the energy. Energy is directed to the circulation of the blood. The proper circulation of the blood makes the calmness of our own self, individuality. So circulating the proper blood to the functionality of the mind, the proper circulation of the blood to our mind makes the calmness of our own thinking, and make the individual to think what is the devotion, what should be executed in a sattva way, what should be taken as a being in a sattva way. I am not talking about the rajas and tamas. Here they comes the rajas and tamas, but the decision, what I am explaining is different. So circulation of the blood with the mind makes the internal calm, fearless. So when fearless, when the word fearless is coming in shloka, mean that there is a reduction of the flow of blood. The flow of bloods to the mind makes the reduction, not fulfilling the function of the mind. The unfulfillment of the function of the mind can make a various kind of the unfunctionality of the execution. The unfunctionality of the execution. The unfunctionality of the execution. The word given as a disease. So, when I am talking with the circulation unfunctionality, let me give you, wait a minute. When I am giving flowing circulation and unfunction. When I am giving the circulation, reducing of the circulation and unfunctioning, unfunctional, without not making the proper function is the unfunction. Without making the functionality of the mind is nothing but reduction of the circulation of blood. Reduction of the blood makes the unfunction of the execution, the body's part. So this is how this body is the instrument, the software is the immunity. Body is the all the constant, you can say. Tech people can understand what the constant and what the variables. The constant and the variables is our body, and the immunity is the software. The execution of proper execution without the debugging, and without having the exceptions or the errors is nothing but the proper way of devotion. This is what the thinking of me. This is what the governing of the mind. This is what the devotion, what the Krishna has says. This is how the word thinking of me and the governing of the mind with regarding the Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita itself gives your own individuality with the internal calm. Internal calm comes with the flow of the proper flow of our own circulation. Here comes when I am seeing the reel of the Divya Kirti sir, the Drishti IAS, the founder of the Drishti IAS, Divya Kirti sir, that he has given as example that the parents has said for the children that the parents was saying to the children that we have taken the struggle as like this without all the comfortable, and you are having all the comfortable, but you are not able to study. This is the scolding of a parent, he was telling. Let me tell you the explanation of this. Why the sir has taken this example? That there is a improper function of the child, the improper function of the mind, lack of the understanding of the mind. As the parent has taken improper information of his own individuality and making the children of taking the execution as his own self without the analyzation. The child will not have the analyzation, but the parents is having the analyzation, but reduction and understanding, reduce of the understanding, lack of the understanding makes the execution of his parents and make the execution of making the execution is nothing but the domination. Domination is domination on the children with certain type is different, with the domination of negativity is different. Domination, we cannot call with the parents on a children's domination, but in a certain way, the telling of the certain the tune, the telling of the tune, the way of treating, telling with the children, being with the children is not a domination. But if the parents has given some of the invisible forces, when the invisible forces is with reducing of immune system, that makes the domination. That's what I have used the energy, reduction of the energy, positive energy and the negative energy. It can be from the external environment, not excluding from the internal relative values. This is how I have taken. So when we come across the child and the parents, it is a different example. When I come with the regarding the circulation and the calmness of the Bhagavad Gita, it is related to the individual. So I have taken the example only to relate the what is the thinking of the sir and the what is the thinking you should be doing with the execution of your own self. So when we are come across the execution of our own self, we come across the governing of the mind. When there is the governing of the mind, there should be the proper flow of circulation, proper flow of the circulation, reducing of the circulation, proper flow of the circulation, there causes the unfunction. That is what the function, not having the proper function, not doing the proper function can make the execution, reduction of the execution with particular. This is how the shloka says. This is how the carbohydrates does, lipids does, this is how the protein does, this is how the nucleic acid does. How it is relating long-term energy, quick energy, enzyme, muscular, building and transport. This is what the protein is. The protein makes the enzymes muscular and building a transportation. Building a transportation is nothing but the circulating from one nerve to another nerve. There is a complex structure, like gained complex structure. The complex structure of our nerves. The complex structure of the nerves is very much very complex with the flow of the when we come across the flowing of the blood. So flowing of the blood with the complexity, needs the pressure. Once again I will tell, flowing of the blood with the complexity of nerves, complexity of the nerves needs a pressure. Let me give you explanation for regarding what I have to say now. Flow of blood with complexity of nerves needs a pressure. Yes. So when we come across the flow of the blood with the complexity of complexity of the nerves, there is a pressure is needed. How the pressure is created? What is the main factor of the creating the pressure? Immune power. The reaction what the relating to the biological reaction of the carbohydrate, lipids, proteins and nucleus. Reducing of this all thing can reduce the immune, can reduce the pressure with the complexity of the nerves. When the complexity of the nerves is reducing the complexity of the reducing the flow of complex with the complexity of the nerves, there is a improper function. There is an improper function of the mind. If the improper function of the mind occurs, all the misbehave, you can tell, misbehave of the execution begins. Misbehave of the execution begins when I am talking this. The word called disease has occurred. So when we are talking with the reduction of the flow and the reduction of the reduction of the pressure, reduction of the immune, there comes the energy. Directly it is flow of energy, flow of circulating. The circulation, that is what the flow. This is directly I am giving the explanation with the regarding the energy. Energy is in the sense the circulation of blood. So when it is the circulation, reducing of the circulation of the blood, there comes the improper function. When the improper of the function, there comes the internal calm, reduction of the internal calm. There comes the when there comes the reduction of the internal calm, there comes the fear. When the fear comes, the the mind will not able to govern. Thinking of the governing of the mind. Governing of the mind is nothing but our own self, the keeping the proper function of the mind. It reduces with the flow of circulation of the blood. This is how the energy is related to the pressure. This is how the energy and the circulation which is makes the immunity. This is how the immunity causes the lack of the immunity, the reduction of the immunity causes the word called disease. The improper function. Disease is nothing but the improper of the certain kind of the organ. Improper. Why it is the improper function? There is the reduction of the flow. When there is a reduction of the flow of the blood, there is a circulation, the complexity. When pressure comes here, pressure, when the pressure is down, when the power is down, when the when the reaction is down, the pressure comes down with the complexity of nerves. Our body, every organ is related to the nerves. The brain is having the connection of the CNS, that is central nervous system. The CNS is having all the connection with the organs. It is what the CNS is having the complexity of the nerves. The complexity of the nerves includes the CNS includes the flow of the blood. When the reduction of the blood with the complexity of oneself make the cause the word called disease. The word called disease. Why the reduction of the flow? Why it is called? Why the reduction of the flow? It is not meant from the environment. What we accept what the environment is in our surrounding, but the reduction of the flow of the blood is related to the energy which is caused by the external negativity intent. This is what there is thousands of diseases we call it diseases. We name it as a diseases, like uh, like um, uh, um, we can call it as a you can name the diseases as you will become across, because we nobody knows the what is the fact of the circulation, what is the fact of the complexity of the nerves. The lack of understanding of the circulation and the lack of the understanding of the complexity of the nerves with the CNS, central nervous system. The complexity of the CNS is having a flow of the blood. The reduction of the blood can make the uncomfortable uncomfortable to the person. This is how the modern science is taking towards the individuality, towards the Western medicine. So when I am talking with the Western medicine, when we are talking with the Western medicine, the Western medicine gives nothing else, nothing more than the pressure, causing the external pressure. Causing the external pressure is nothing but causing the thousands of the negativity with the small amount of positivity. Thousand negativity with the small amount of positivity. That is what the Western medicine gives with particular. So why the environment when we are having the environment as a positive, when we are having the positiveness to be taken as our own self and being in the positive and make the positive of everything else, but we are going towards the negativity without the understanding, lack of the understanding with the complexity of our nervous system and the complexity, the flow, reduction flow of circulation. This is how we have come across the NC square. So these all the transportation, I have give a word called transportation. Word use, that is what the protein, transporting of the proteins in a complex nuclear complexity of the nervous system. This is how the long term energy flows. This is how the quick energy flows with the nervous system, and this is how the hemoglobin creates. This is how the fat oil combination of the blood is having these all things. Combination of when we take the fundamental of the cell, that is what the blood, when we come across these the combination of these all things what I have explained is all with the common example, the fats, oil, cholesterol, hemoglobin, DNA, RNA, and starch, glycogen. These are all the things which is combined in the blood. So reduction of the blood with the which causes the improper of the function of the mind. The improper of the function of the mind causes word called disease. So this is when we are talking the improper of the function of mind, improper of the function of the mind, there comes the improper flow of oxygen. There comes the improper flow of oxygen. These are all the food we have taken related to blood, carbohydrate, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acid. This is related to the food which we are taking. But now we will be talking about the oxygen, which is very essential of the flowing. The very essential of the flowing is nothing but the oxygen. Oxygen, when we come across the oxygen, the lack of oxygen can make the pressure, create the gas of the internal things. The pressure, without the pressure, without the proper flow of the blood in our vessel, in our nervous system, there causes the gas. The causing of the gas the causing of the gas can make the multiple disorders. This is how the circulation is related to the gas. This is how the circulation, lack of the circulation, and the lack of the circulation which is related to the oxygen. So when we come across the oxygen, we come across the sinus. This is what the sinus is. This is what the sinus is. When we take the inhaling and exhaling, there comes the hymn, which is from the Ayyappa Sahasranamani. I have taken. Let me give you. Pingalasya Pishachaha. What is this Pingalasya Pishachaha? We come across the sinus. Sinus, the small amount of the inhaling of the oxygen, the reduction of that, the reduction of the hole, the reducing of the hole, which causes the sinus problem. You can call some of the friends, some of the not some, but various people can face the I'm facing the sinus problem. What is this sinus problem? Sinus problem is nothing but the reduction of the reducing. He is not a lack of the awareness. Because of lack of the awareness, he is uncomfortable of thinking. He is uncomfortable of taking the oxygen, proper oxygen. Taking of the proper oxygen make the sinus proper function. But improper of the function is nothing but the reduction of the oxygen. So when we come across the reduction of the oxygen, there is a Pingalasya Pishachaha. So when we come Pingalasya Pishachaha, Pishachaha is nothing but the reduction of the oxygen. Pishachaha is nothing but reduction of the oxygen, which causes the multiple in fluctuation of our thinking and making the certain kind of unbehavior of our own self without the decision we have directed. This is what the Pingala Pishachaha. The making these words as point, I may tell you that the person who are in a position of the spiritual process, the person who the individuality who are in a process of spiritual process, they take the advantage of the Bhagavad Gita and some of the Sahasranamavalis and make the ghost, the name called ghost, I have explained. Ghost has come, he has doing all whatever the ghost is telling, he is doing. The word ghost has will be directed with the person which he is to take the Sattva Guna as a director for others, but he has taken the Sattva Guna as a lowerness and make the Tamas Guna and Rajas Guna as a prior with the domination. This is how the Pingalasya Pishachaha. This is how the science include in a Sanskrit. This is how one should understand what the flow of our own self and the flow of the positiveness and the flow of our own self with the individuality of understanding, realization of our own self makes this all understanding, making this all understanding. So I have brought this series of the positivity and the negativity with regards the positioned person and with regards the negative energy which is influencing in the positive process. What is science behind the Sanskrit? What are the fact which is involved in the Sanskrit, and what the fact should be analyzed with our own individuality and make the decision as directed. These all the facts, lack of these all things, making the only thing is nothing but lack of these all things and making the things as directing and making the only you should take the yoga as our own daily practice. Nothing. The person who makes the statement of doing the yoga as one of the part of the part of our daily discipline make the sense. Daily discipline make the sense, but person stating only the taking the yoga as part makes the behavior the reduction of understanding, not the behavior but the reduction of the understanding. When the person takes the understanding of yoga as one of the word, he takes the yoga as a word and makes others to be implemented, but he did not given the explanation what the fact is yoga. This is what the lack of the fact, lack of the understanding, lack of the understanding makes the one persons to reduce from the oxygen, inhaling of the oxygen. This is what the pingalasya pishachaha. So being understanding of these all things what I have explained now and making the yoga as a pure, you can make the understanding and make the analyzation and to take the action regarding what the meditation is, how the meditation is, what the yoga is, what you should be taking the action regarding the regarding oneself being in a position. So when I am talking the being in a position, being with the positiveness, this all explanation I have given with regarding the E is energy is equal to nucleus into circulation. This I have given the explanation regarding the E is equal to nucleus into circulation. So this I have given because to understand what is the main theme of immunity, the theme of immunity and the basis of the immunity, and make the understanding what I have explained and take the action regarding. The only fact I have given the scientific proof and our own self, our own understanding with regarding, and make the Sanskrit word what it states. Even it is a pingalasya pishachaha, only two words having, but it is having an enormous explanation. Lack of understanding the enormous explanation, there is a reduction of the there is a not execution of the yogas. So not having the execution of the yoga in a individuality can reduce our own behavior and makes the tamas and rajas guna as a priority and take the action regarding which is not able to understand of the sattva guna, what should be taken in the action and what should not be taken in the action. This is what the rajas guna and tamo guna. But here comes when we come across the fluctuation of the rajas guna, tamas guna, there is the domination as proper from the environment, with the position person who is having the understanding of the certain kind of the energy, but he take the positive negative as inflow in the root in the way of the positive process and make all the confusion. This is how the person individual calls the negativity. So understanding these all things, which is our own self, individuality of our own self, and making the decision, and what are the behavior you should be understand, and making the understanding and making the decision as regard. This is how I have brought the series of understanding with regard the positivity and the negativity. So understanding the energies of the positivity and negativity, I have given with the scientific nature, explanation of scientific nature, and explanation of our own the explanation, and with the Sanskrit word. Now in further example, in further video, I will be giving the extension of how the proper negative energy is with the individuality, how the energy negative energy it comes with the individuality, and how he is to be understood. I will be giving the explanation regarding this, because the main fact of giving this explanation is nothing but the understanding of the energy, and the understanding of our own self with regarding the shloka as a as we come across the Bhagavad Gita, and as we come across the Veda and Upanishads, we come across the Sahasranamavali. So what is the scientific which is related to our own behavior? This is what the Vedas and Upanishad, the Sahasranama, the word, the hymn I have taken, the Sahasranama. This is the words from the Sahasranama, of Sahasranamavali, from Ayyappa Sahasranamavali. Pingalasya Pishachaha. This is what the scientific, the Vedas and Puranas gives for us. So be on a series. Take the understanding of the Sattva Guna, and make all the possibility of your own self, which you have directed a decision, which is directed towards the determined, and make all the sense of your own self, and do the sense which is very, very much important with the Bharat. So Sattva Guna is meant with only the Bharat as well as your own self, not with the decision which is caused by the environment. The decision which is caused by the environment is combination of the Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. This is what the Swami Vivekananda has given the statement called the activeness, inactiveness and the equilibrium. So having this all sense, and making the Bhagavad Gita as our desire of understanding, of thinking, and making the Vedas, Puranas as our own basis, individuality as a scientifically, as we come across the individuality, understanding of the individuality, makes the decision with regarding our own self. So be on a series. I will be bringing all the necessary which is very useful for the individuality, to understand our own individuality. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.